Hey, friendly neighbors, I love this quote by Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. If you want the world to change, you have to change. That change starts with you. Hurt people hurt people. We're all responsible for healing the pain of our past trauma so that we can be in the world in a way that's compassionate and supportive and kind, and that we can create our dream life. We all are responsible for healing our own pain. We have to do the work. So you always hear about the work, but what is the work? What does the work look like? There's so many techniques and practices I've used over the years to do my own work. Ultimately, the work is the work that works for you, and you will find your own way and figure that out for yourself. But I want to share a technique that worked for me that focuses on negative thinking. Negative thinking is so toxic because your thoughts influence your words influence your actions, and your actions shape your life. It really does start with negative thinking. If you are feeling like you're saying things that are negative and doing things that aren't helpful and are maybe even harmful. So I want to share a technique that worked for me that's called thought replacement. Taking a negative thought and replacing it with a positive thought. Neuroplasticity is the capacity of the brain to change and develop over time throughout your entire lifetime. You have the power to rewire your brain. You can replace harmful habits with helpful ones. I didn't know that a few years ago, and every morning when I got in the shower, I'd turn the water on and the negative thoughts would just immediately rush in. I didn't know that I was not my thoughts, that I had control over my thoughts. I got to a point where I didn't want to start my day like that anymore, with getting in the shower and the negative thoughts playing on an endless loop. I was done with negative thoughts. I wanted to reclaim my brain. So I learned about this technique of thought replacement, and I dedicated myself every single day of 2018 to doing this practice. 2018 was my year of happy. Every year I have a different word. And in my year of happy, I was determined to only focus on things that would help me generate as much happiness as possible. I started on January 1st. I got in the shower, turned on the water. I didn't even hear the water because the negative thoughts came rushing in like they always do. And what was I even thinking about? Stuff from like something stupid I said yesterday, all the way from like stuff that happened 20 years ago. And here's the thing with negative thinking. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is happening actually right now and what you're imagining is happening. So when you allow negative thoughts to replay on an endless loop in your brain, you're allowing that past trauma to sort of re-happen to you. Negative thoughts rushed in. Okay, I imagined a stop sign, huge stop sign sort of over the thoughts. And it had flashing lights and a really loud alarm sound. And it helped me to really put an end to that, to really just allowing the negative thoughts to happen. It was loud and it was big, and it woke me up to say, okay, stop that negative thinking. And I immediately replaced the negative thought with a positive thought. So what did I think about? Something that evoked good vibes. Even walking on the High Line, because the High Line is my happy place. It's my Zen space. It's my good vibes only place. And so just imagining myself walking on the High Line was enough for my brain to think that I was actually walking on the High Line and to really evoke those good vibes. But then another negative thought rushed in. Put the stop sign over it, replaced it with another positive thought, got those good vibes. I kept doing that practice until about October or November. And by that point, I was really only having positive thoughts. And it was easy if a negative thought creeped in to put the stop sign over it and replace it with a positive thought. By December, when I got in the shower, I only heard the water. My mind was that clear. It took almost a year of daily practice to get to that place. And you might hear that and feel discouraged, like, oh my God, that's so long, a whole year. And that sounds like really hard work. I mean, all the work is hard work. And I think that's one reason why some people avoid the work, because their pain is more familiar and in a way more comforting to them because that's what they're used to. Doing the work to rewire your brain is hard at first, but then you do get to a point where that's just how you are. Because the thing is, every day you practice the work, you're getting one day closer to living the life you actually want to live. So it may sound like a long time, oh, almost a year, but it's going to be a year from now anyway. So how do you want your life to be when you get there? That's the motivation that I kept in mind every day while I was practicing thought replacement. And it was really hard for a long time. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get to a point in my life anyway where it's going to be 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, however long it takes from now anyway. I want to create my dream life. And part of my dream life involves only positive thoughts. So my brain is rewired. It's 5 years later, and this is what my brain is used to. So I usually don't have any negative thoughts. My brain now is used to focusing on positive thoughts because negative thoughts are not welcome here anymore. And if one sneaks in, I immediately do thought replacement. I don't even have to think consciously about thought replacement because that's how my brain is wired now. It does it for me in a way. It's really cool. So it's 5 years later, I'm building more healthy habits, but I do keep checking by asking myself 2 questions. Whenever I feel off or like I'm not having a good day, is this how I want to feel? Is this who I want to be? And if the answer to either of those is no, I make immediate changes by doing the work. I wish you so much success in finding the work that works for you. The change you want to see in the world starts with you. And if you feel frustrated and you feel like it's too long a journey to start, please take that first step because the changes you are making to heal your pain are making the world a better place. Take care.